Thanks for tuning in to the Unaffiliated Creators Podcast. I'm your host, kaeveryday. This is the indie artist safe place, so take off your shoes, get comfortable, and stay a while. Do us a favor and please rate the show. And if you have any feedback for us, please email us at unaffiliatedcreatives@gmail.com. A quick history lesson. Biggz was the first artist that I ever had on the podcast. It's been almost a year since I had him on, so we got a lot of catching up to do. Real quick, though, I did want to shout out my man Rocky Braxton from the Long Island Rap Radar because he challenged me on a podcast we did together. He said that I should try to freestyle a podcast at least once, so I figured today I'm going to give it a shot. So if you hear me doing a lot of stuttering or if it's taking me a long time to ask a question, it's because I'm actually freestyling this thing. But a few things I kind of wanted to just go ahead and put out there before we get into it. So there have been a few things that's changed since the last time me and Biggz had a chance to talk to each other. So I got the Unaffiliated Creators backdrop in the background. Last time I talked to Biggz, I think I just had a black curtain or something in the background. So that's changed. I got the Unaffiliated Creators merch out. I don't know if y'all can see, I got the hat on, so I got the merch out. And I also, like I said, got a Rodecaster Pro 2, so that allows me to be a little flexible and do in-person interviews, and I can do interviews on location. So those are a few things that's a change on my end since I had the opportunity to talk to Biggz. But with all that being said, now that I done got all that out the way, Biggz, tell us what you've been up to.
First and foremost, hey, thanks for letting me back on the podcast. It's long overdue, but we made it happen. About a year. And I did notice the backdrop. The podcast backdrop on your end looks clean, man. Like it looks way different than it did back when I was on the show last time. So I just wanted to give you props on that backdrop and the new things you got going on there with the show. Pretty much since last time, man. Last time I think I told you I was working out in Malibu, out in California. I got, connected obviously with my buddy, Big Renz, who was on your show last episode. Since then, we did like maybe 3 to 5 songs since the last time I was on your show. A couple more studio sessions with him. DJ Hopper from Broken Complex Studios out in LA. And since then, man, a big change that had happened was I actually got a house out here in Denton, Texas, which is like 20 minutes from my son. So I'm out here with my wife, and now we're actually foster parents now, which was never in the plans at all. It was just strictly like me working in music and working night shift, but now I'm actually a foster parent, and I actually get to like lead young men into hopefully the right direction. I know you can't save everybody, but there is a few that we do have now that are almost 18, 16, 17, getting into 18, becoming men. So I think it's pretty cool that worked out. And a few of them actually do like music, so I get to put them on game with music. I get to sit them down and record a little bit, show them how to make beats, which is pretty cool to kind of teach them too, and knowing that that's the kind of, the generation we get to kind of like pour into, which is pretty dope, man. So that's pretty much it, really. Making music still on TikTok, writing every day. That's pretty much it, man, to be honest. And no like project or anything on the way. Just mainly been features.
Hey, man, I just wanted to give you a round of applause, man. You really pouring into these young men's lives. But if it's not too personal, I did want to ask you this question. So the last time I interviewed you, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I thought you was living out in Cali. So what made you move from Cali to Texas?
Well, honestly, I was working like my night shift out in Malibu, California. And I was kind of like interested in moving back to be closer to my son. And we actually were doing like tests for the state of Texas while living in California, which was probably like a 2 or 3 month process, man. Just doing classes online while working my night shift out in Cali. Finally got certified for the state of Texas, and now we're here, got a house, and pretty much got it out the mud, if you will, if that's what you want to call it. You know, we were down on our luck last time we're out here. We're living in a hotel for like a year, still doing music, still pursuing everything, and pretty much went through the storm to get to this point, man. So this is pretty much testimony to whoever is like back against the wall, like keep looking forward into the front window and like don't look in the mirror, the rear view. The rear view is so small for a reason. You got to keep your eyes like straight ahead, man, into the windshield, pretty much.
Hey man, I had to give you the air horns, man, on your come up, man. That's definitely a success story in itself.
Yeah.
Now I did want to ask you this question. So
yeah.
A while, this was several months ago, but I be seeing what you be posting on social media and stuff. So last time I talked to you, you had just recently started making beats. And you've been doing that ever since. So, you've been doing it for a while now. But I remember running across, and this is just to let you know how long ago it was. It was still called Tweets back then. I don't even know what you call them now because they didn't change the name to X.
Now it's just like an X.
Yeah, but you put out a tweet and basically said that you had just sold, at the time, the one I saw, you said that you had just sold 200 beats. So what I wanted to ask you is, what is the secret, if you don't mind sharing with us, what is your secret to be able to sell so many beats? Because I'm going to be honest, I've been making beats longer than you, and they ain't close to have sold 200 beats. And I'm pretty sure the number is even bigger now, because like I said, when I saw that tweet, that was like several months ago. So what's the secret?
Honestly, man, like, to be honest, I think I'm honestly doing it wrong as far as a producer. Like, I should be doing like a Beat Stars, but I make so many beats that I'm not going to be able to put like 400 beats one by one on a file on BeatStars. So I've been finding people on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, whoever's interested. I'll put out snippets and they'll hit me up. I'll get their information and do it pretty much via text. And I'll send them like a pack of like 40 snippets, and they could like the ones they want, and we go from there pretty much on how many I'm going to give them in a pack to like their budget, really. Some people do just pay outright, but some people I do work on like with budgets and stuff like that. Just because I know when I was coming up, it was a little hard for myself. So I know what it's like. So, that's pretty much what I've been doing. I'm pretty sure I started doing BeatStars a while ago when it's like one beat at a time. Then the numbers probably would have been higher. It's still like mid 200s. There was months I was making like obviously more money than other months, but it goes up and down at times. But it's still a little side hustle.
So basically, you've been using social media. You've been using, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. You've been using the different social media platforms to connect with people, and then they've been hearing like the beats, and then you just been communicating with them like that, and that's how you've been getting the beats off.
Yeah, just word of mouth, just myself, really. Yeah.
So what's the number up to now? Like I said, it was that said 200. That was like 8 months ago or something like that. So what's the number up to now? You've been keeping track?
No, honestly, I kind of haven't like kept track like that anymore. I think I was on track just because like I was new and I was like, oh, crazy. I remember one month I made like, I think it was like probably like $2,000 or something. And I was just like, little by little, you're kind of just tripping out. Like, you can make this off beats. Like, I think I made more money doing that than like rapping, like, to be honest with you. And, but yeah, like, I think it's probably, it went up a little more, maybe like in the 260s area, maybe a little under. But I kind of stopped counting, to be honest.
Well, that lets you know you've been making a whole bunch of beats when it gets to the point where you can't even keep track no more. You're like, look, man, I can't even put a number on it no more because I done made so many. So, hey, man. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you the applause sound, man. I got to tilt my hat to you, man. Like I said, I've made a lot of beats myself, but as far as being able to sell that many beats, man, you done ran circles around me. But I do have, you just made me think of something else. I just wanted to ask you this question. So earlier you said that you and Renz, y'all have made several songs together. So at some point, is there something in the future where y'all are possibly gonna make a whole album with both of y'all on it? Like, y'all, on a whole project.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure like we both be down to do it. Obviously, like he'd either have to fly out here, I fly out there, or I send everything to him via email, and he can kind of go in the studio with DJ Hoppa out there and kind of cook it up that way. We've done a few like that. We just did a song with him, Big Renz, and Kello Problems, which is an artist from Broken Complex, who is with Hoppa, and he also messes with Logic and stuff. So we just did a song, probably maybe 2 months ago. It's been out. It's called "I'm Not the One," and that one's out on all not all, it's on Renz is actually his YouTube channel. But I'm sure we probably would do a probably a project or something like that. I know he does have a thing, he's working with Big Renz ENT, so we'll see what's up with that in the future. But I'm always down to work with him just because I like his work ethic, and I think I kind of showed him that I'm a workhorse with the music too, writing every day still. Haven't stopped since my last interview with you. So I've been juggling like writing, recording, and making beats. So some days it'll be more beats than writing, or vice versa. You know what I mean? More writing than beats. So I'm just trying to keep it balanced and juggling them both at the same time, while fostering these boys out here too, and also my actual biological son too. So yeah, I've just been staying busy.
But you said that you and Renz, y'all have at least recorded at least 5 songs together so far?
Yeah, easily 5 to 6 songs already. Yeah, easy.
All right, so what I'm gonna need y'all to do for me, this is something that I'm kind of working on. I actually use myself as the crash test dummy for now. But what I'm gonna start doing this thing going forward, where I'm gonna start getting certain artists to like send me either several songs or like an entire project or whatever. And I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna critique the songs. I'm gonna play the song, and then I'm gonna give my critique or my opinion or whatever on it. Then I'm gonna play the next song, and then I talk about it, play the next song. So that'll be cool. The fact that I've interviewed both of y'all have already recorded several songs together. If y'all could just email me all the songs that y'all have done together, and then that's something that I could put together and do here coming up in the near future.
Yeah, I mean, I got you right after this interview, to be honest with you. I got a little bit of downtime where the kids are at school. But yeah, I did notice you were talking about a new segment on your podcast. I think it was on one of your social medias where you're talking about, you are going to start critiquing and then having a new segment on the show, which is pretty cool to kind of get feedback, from other people as well, which would be dope. But I definitely got you after this interview for sure with the links.
All right, so I don't want to put you on the spot, and you don't have to say no names if you don't want to protect the innocent. But how would you feel if somebody recorded a whack song to one of your beats?
Yeah, that's I've heard a couple. I haven't said anything, but it's like, to be honest, at the end of the day, it's business, dude. So it is what it is.
So do you feel that it makes you look bad as a producer, or do you feel like it really just makes them look bad as an artist, or do you feel like it's like, basically, do you think people be like, man, I know the rap part of the song was whack, man, but that beat was on fire? Like,
yeah, it's like, it's just like it's in a teeter-totter, you know what I mean? Like it's in a seesaw pretty much. One's up, one's lower kind of thing. And I've had a couple incidents with that, and like they already pretty much paid for the beat, and then whatever they do with it, they do with it. Hopefully they kill it. At the end of the day, I want to hear somebody body the beat at the end of the day. But that's not really, you can't really have like too high hopes for everybody that kind of hits you up for beats, you know what I mean? But yeah, at the end of the day, it was business, and good luck to them, and hopefully they work on the craft or whatever and things like that. I know like I've made beats too that I would probably myself personally get on, but I have made a lot of beats that I wouldn't get on too, which is not really my vibe, but like I like making that kind of style of beats as well. So I found that kind of interesting.
But let me ask you this question. Has there ever been somebody that's then hit you up for beats and you've turned them down for whatever reason?
No, not yet. No, surprisingly.
Okay, so it don't matter. It don't matter what they rapping about. They could be talking about the craziest stuff ever. They could be talking about sacrificing goats or
Yeah,
whatever. And
goat.
you just like, oh man, hey, I got a beat for you.
Yeah, I'll tell them like, hey, like I got a dark vibe of a beat. You know what I mean? You could like turn the light down, candles on type vibe, and go at it with that one. But nah, like I mean, I'm down for whatever. To be honest, at the end of the day.
All right, so
But yeah, no, I don't really. I'm not opposed to it.
all right, so what else do you have that you're working on in the near future? I mean, it sounds like you got a lot going on outside of music, but as far as the music is concerned, I mean, what do you think you got going on? Well, we almost pretty much at the end of the year now, so starting it with the new year and going forward, what you got going on?
I think I did tell you last time that I was in the like works with like interning with Dr. Dre's son now in Orange County in Cali. So that's still in the works too. I just gotta get a few things lined up, and obviously fly back and forth from Texas to Cali to do that. I know he's gonna have a baby pretty soon, so I'm not trying to put his business out there, but I mean he's probably gonna be busy doing that. But I'm sure we could always get a couple of Zoom sessions in and pick his brain with music too. So I mean that's still a goal of mine also. So, but yeah, I mean, pretty much just doing what I'm doing now and just kind of just making connections along the way.
All right, so we're gonna give an applause for the baby on the way. So speaking of connections, so it was something else that we talked about the last time I interviewed you, and I just kind of want to follow up with you to see where this relationship is possibly going. So you were saying that you knew somebody that was affiliated with Russell, and you was trying to figure out a good way to stay in contact with that person to see if there was something that you guys could possibly have going in the future. How's that working?
Well, pretty much it's Russ's videographer. He's still down to let me record a cypher on him once he gets into like LA area. So, I mean, right now he was just on tour with Russ, so he's pretty much everywhere with him. So, I mean, I'm guessing when he gets his downtime, I mean, and when he's not editing and stuff like that, shout out to Steve. Shout out to Steve Mulez. But yeah, he's still down. I'm just trying to figure out a way to kind of bring that in, like, to conversation, but definitely, like, still down to do it, once the time is right.
We want to give a shout out to Steve. So you kind of mentioned it earlier, and I think you've still been doing it. You do like the challenges on TikTok, and you do like the So
open verse challenge.
Yeah, so let me ask you, out of all the different social media platforms and all the different things, because each one of them is a little different, where do you feel you've been getting the biggest bang for the buck? Like, where do you see where you either get the most engagement, the most fun? It's different way. I guess there's different metrics you can use to find success.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna name a few. It's either you getting the most followers, the most people engage with your content, the most likes, the most reshares, retweets, however you want to frame it. Which social media platform do you feel you get the biggest bang for the buck when it comes to promoting your music?
I want to say, well, it's not called Twitter no more, whatever it's called, X, I guess. That one's good, and TikTok too, which is I like to put a lot of like videos out there, or like me recording, beats or doing the verses. I'm pretty active on both of them. I'll go on Instagram here and there too, but like that's pretty much like a option 3 opposed to like TikTok or like X or whatever, Twitter X or whatever.
So
And
you
then I
might,
hardly even touch.
so you might have to help me out with this one. So I probably spend more time on Instagram. Maybe that's because I just kind of understand it a little better than the other ones. I've been playing around with Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, but I still haven't quite figured it out. Like I don't know enough about it to really understand like how the algorithm works and the best way to like, you know, like the best times of day to send out stuff, you know,
Yeah.
the best like even how to formulate the message, what people are more interested in seeing, all of that stuff. I haven't really figured out like how to even get like a lot of people to, I don't know if you want to say engage or follow you or subscribe to you or whatever you want to call it. It's just for some reason that one is hard to figure out.
Yeah, like you're gonna get like love and hate too, which is like that obviously comes with the dinner. But it's like I remember posting like, hey, like just got a new crib, like from the bottom, you know, got it out the mud type of deal, and I had a picture of like our Altima, and like there's still people talking smack, like, oh well, he has a new crib and a career going for him, but he's still driving an Altima. Like you get people just doing petty stuff like that too, which is, to me it's funny. But like it's like, do you got anything else to do? Like what? That's pull other people down. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, I could have seen that one could have went a lot of different ways because then you would have had the other side like, well, what's wrong with driving an Altima? You know, I still drive an Altima, so you know, you were gonna get it either way.
Sometimes you don't even want to share like your victories, to be honest, because you don't want to like deal with all that. But it is what it is, you know. They're gonna complain about anything nowadays.
Well, let me ask you this, because we just talking about this, you know, the kind of like today, like I said, we freestyling, so I knew the conversation was going to just go wherever it goes, and obviously, as we having this conversation, it's just gonna remind me of certain stuff, and it's gonna just jog my memory.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, hey, let me ask him this. So when you post stuff, do you ever post stuff with the end game in mind that you're either trying for it to go viral? Or do you just organically just post whatever's on your heart, what's on your mind that you want to share, and just whatever happens, happens?
No, you know, for the most part, I put like what's on my mind, my heart. You know, sometimes I might like a quote, and I throw up a quote, and that'll go crazy, and then that'll bring people following you and things like that. Or I could put like, I don't know, a Bible verse, and like people aren't gonna like that, people might like it. So it's really like a tug of war. It'll go either way. It can go either way for sure.
Oh, let me ask you this: how far would you be willing to go when it comes to putting out content? And I guess where I'm getting at is I've noticed here lately that people be doing some, and I guess it's no surprise at this point. Everything is about shock value, it's about controversy, it's about, you know, drama sales. But I've been realizing that it seems like a lot of people are pretty much willing to do anything to just, I don't know, go viral or get a lot of clicks, likes, shares, retweets.
Clout, get all that clout and all that crap.
Exactly. So I guess my question to you is, how far would you be willing to go? Like,
to be honest, man, I think the most I give them was, I think the most I've ever gave somebody was like the ice bucket challenge, and it was like the cinnamon challenge or whatever it's called. And that's about it.
So you got to refresh my memory on the cinnamon challenge because there are so many challenges now. I can't. Is that the one where you had to eat a whole bunch of cinnamon?
Yeah, like it's like I think a tablespoon of cinnamon or maybe like a spoonful. And like you can't drink any water, which is stupid because I pretty much almost died in this process when I was younger. But like, yeah, man, it was just the dumbest thing ever. Like, I don't know why I did it. I just peer pressure got you, and boom. That's probably the dumbest thing I've done so far. But I don't even think they put it on like social media. I think it was just for them to kind of like clown on me, like a couple of the cousins, you know, have it on their phone or whatever. But that's about it. But I think those are the most I've ever done so far. The ice bucket challenge I've done. I mean, I did that just to kind of, I guess the trend was going on, and I just jumped on it and got called out. So, but I'd never like walk on like, what are they called? Like the milk crates and all that. I would never do that.
Yeah, I think I only saw
like,
one of those videos where the person actually made it all the way across. Everyone I saw, everybody was like breaking their arms and all that crazy
necks,
stuff.
and I think I'm paralyzed for that. Like, come on.
But I like how you just explained the cinnamon challenge and you just kind of breezed right by. But I'm gonna bring it back for those that didn't hear him. People that were sitting in the back that didn't hear you. You said you basically died during the cinnamon challenge, and that's the craziest
Like, I
thing you've
thought
ever done.
I thought I was done. Like, I couldn't breathe at all. Like, I was like, damn, I'm done for. And I was like, oh, this is it. Like, I'm gonna die over freaking cinnamon. Like, what the hell am I doing?
You gonna die over a challenge, huh?
Yeah, I'm like, I really couldn't breathe at all for like a while, and ended up, throwing up or whatever. But dude, like, it's the dumbest thing. And it was just peer pressure. So.
Hey, let me ask you this. So you've done several of the open verse challenges on TikTok. To the best of your memory, which one that you did that you had like the best response, or you got like the most, views, like, share? I mean, all these things, they got different metrics, but which one do you think did the best?
I did one that actually got 15.2 thousand likes, or 15.2 thousand views. That's what it is so far.
I mean, if you remember the artist, man, you can go ahead and shout them out, man, so everybody can go back and then find them, and then that's the challenge he was talking about.
Yeah. You said like to give him my TikTok name?
No, I'm saying because normally when you do an open verse challenge, there's normally you and it's normally the other person. I'm saying you could go ahead and say who the other person was, so it might help.
Yeah. Her name was Ali Kaeveryday. So she, like, I think she commented on it, liked it. You'll be surprised. Like, actually, like, some artists will actually like remix you on their song. I'm hoping to get a couple of those placements, but we'll see. But a lot of people have responded, or like they'll actually follow you back. Just like if you go in on like on the content, they like your style, then they'll give you a look. I got a couple of looks on there and contact with them and things like that. Like, their followers will follow you and vice versa. So especially if they react to your video and share it.
All right, so I just want to let everybody know, speaking of this open verse challenge, so that's one of the reasons why Biggz was one of the first artists that I ever interviewed, because he actually did an open verse challenge to a song that I put on TikTok, and he jumped on it, he did his thing, and it caught my attention. I was like, yo, that was kind of crazy. So I was like, yo, let me get this guy on a podcast, and the rest is history. I do also want to let everybody know that the Biggz keep making history, because this is the first podcast interview that I've done via the phone. Like, I'm actually calling this man on his cell phone right now. He probably out, sipping tea with his feet kicked up in the front yard somewhere on the phone.
Right now, yeah.
And we recording the podcast at the same time, but it's all good, man. Biggz like making history.
Yeah.
All right. So before we get out of here, man, take the time to tell the audience anything that you want them to know now. Like I said, it's almost been a year since our last interview. Take the time to tell us anything that we haven't talked about already for whatever reason.
Just know that, like, on my end, it's pretty much all gas, no brakes with the music, beats. Just like being persistent, stay like persistent in all you do, and kind of like I was saying, like, don't like pay too much attention in like the rear view mirror. Like, it's small for a reason. So like, don't like look at your past too much. Just keep looking forward and just keep grinding it out, and lay a brick down a day, and eventually you're gonna look back with a foundation. Eventually, obviously, like I've done it. You can do it. It's not impossible. You just gotta get after it, pretty much. And whatever your passion is, whatever you're curious in, just go after it. And I wanted to say thank you a lot for believing in me, letting me on your open verse challenge, getting me on the show twice. I'll definitely get you the links after this phone call, and also I want you guys to know, you guys stay safe with your family. They're in the upcoming holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and all that. So you guys stay blessed up. Prayers up, blessings down, and keep going.
Y'all heard the man, prayers up. So yeah, so I do want to say I appreciate you taking time to come on the podcast again today. Like again, you're the first recurring guest that I've had on the show, of somebody that I've interviewed. And I'm definitely going to get you on again in the future, because I'm gonna be curious on this number, man. I know you technically say you done stopped counting, man, but I got a feeling I'm doing a little pocket watching, man. I think you probably hit about over 1,000. You done sold over 1,000 beats, man. You about to mold. I'm like, yo, maybe I need to. I'm gonna be honest with you. So it's not that I done stopped making beats. I kind of just slowed down on it because I was putting more. Oh, go ahead.
My bad, actually. This slipped my mind before we were closing out. My mom has a friend in high school that she went to school with. I guess she's in LA right now, and she's a songwriter. I guess that's what she does for a living, making a living on songwriting, making jingles and jangles for commercials or whatever. So I might actually take into that, like maybe songwriting, co-writing, whatever, getting into that kind of vibe. My mom actually said, like, hey, send me some stuff. I'm going to send to, her friend from high school. She's going to send her stuff. She sent a couple of things over the weekend, so we're waiting to hear back. I guess she's going to, give my contact information to her boss that got her started in that industry. So hopefully by next time we talk, I'll be doing that, co-writing or making, something who knows what you can do, make beats for a movie, TV show, whatever, just to get your foot in the door any way you can, and then flip it later on. But yeah, so that's also in the works too. So shout out to my mom for that opportunity, for trying to get me on as well.
Shout out to moms out there. Like I said, man, I'm doing a little pocket watching, man. This guy, I know by the next time I talk to you, man, you're going to be telling me that you done did over 1,000 beats, but it's all good, man. Keep making that money. But like I was saying, I kind of slowed down on making the beats because I've been putting more time, effort, and energy into trying to get this podcast off the ground. But you just motivated me after you just threw them numbers out there. You threw out some figures and you kind of gave me, a little behind the scenes peek behind the curtain on how you've been doing this thing. I'm like, yo, hold on, man.
But it'd be nice, if it was a consistent thing, which it can be. But you know how everything a lot of people, which I did find it can get annoying, but I understand. They'd be like, hey, I got you on this day, and then that day comes, and it's kind of like you're trying to finalize the deal or whatever, and you just don't hear back from them or whatever. So I mean, who knows what they went through or what happened? But after a while, that kind of does get old. But I guess it comes with the territory with that and things like that.
So basically what Biggz saying is shout out to all the people out there that be flaking, man. Prayers up for the people that be flaking, because you never know why they had to flake, man. They might have had to fall on hard times, but hey, prayers up. But hey, man, I appreciate you taking time to come on the podcast, man. And I'm going to be checking in with you to see what you got going on in the near future.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm going to shoot you those links too right after this call.
All right, man. Be good and stay safe.
All right, bro. You too.
All right, now.